you thought we were done, didn't you? You thought we were done.
It's been like 4 months since Robert's looked at Jaiden. He's definitely never gonna do that again.
But you're wrong! I did a survey a couple weeks ago on the channel, and I asked you, do you like videos that involve video games? And 93% of you said yes! And so, that opens up a possibility here. There are 2 videos by Jaiden Animations that I've been wanting to watch for a long time, because I consider them essential viewing. 40 million views! 37 million views! These are essentials, but they're kind of about some video games. And I was scared. I was like, what if not everyone's into it? But hey, 93% of us are on board. I'm sorry to the other 7. I'll see you in the next one. Strange video games I played as a kid! Yes! And the SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom in the thumbnail. You know I'm in this. Did she play SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom? Almost definitely. Jaiden and I are pretty much the same age. We probably grew up with a lot of the same games. I can't wait to see one of these essentials. Let's check it out. RobertIDK? Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Yeah.
Oh no, that door is not locked. I watched that woman just waltz right through. Let me in right now or I swear to— As a kid, my first video game experience was when my parents got me a Game Boy Advance when I was 5. I would lay on the couch sideways to be under the lamp so I could actually see the game because otherwise it was like playing nothing. My parents eventually got me that big bulky light add-on so I wouldn't have to look like a moth whenever I wanted to play Super Circuit. Those were classic childhood days I look back on fondly.
That's already such an amazing example. Guys, if you are a Zoomer, you do not know this struggle. Our devices used to have screens that didn't have lights in them. Like, it was just like the screen would be the color, but no light. You know how lights coming out? None of that. So in the dark, I remember your Game Boy on long car rides home, amazing. But as soon as it got dark outside, useless piece of technology. So you had to buy a Game Boy Light? Oh my goodness, crazy.
Days I look back on fondly. It's weird how technology was so good, but also straight up crap. You can't see the games because the screen is too dark? I don't know, here's a tiny light bulb. I played mainstream games like Pokemon and Mario and Kirby, but my parents also got me really random games they probably just found in the clearance bin at the store, which made for a mix of some interesting gaming experiences.
Okay.
And I kinda wanted to relive the glory days and see if the games actually were like I remember. So I replayed a bunch of them, and here's what happened.
Yay, I'm so excited.
First game, Powerpuff Girls Battle Hymn for the Game Boy Color.
Okay.
I didn't have a Game Boy Color, so I got to play it on my Game Boy Advance SP with half the cartridge sticking out. I also don't remember being able to get past the first stage and just replay the first screen all the time. Granted, as a kid, I loved the feeling of starting a new game and would always restart a Pokemon file because I liked the clean slate feeling. So I was like, maybe I never got too far because of similar reasoning. No, not the case. This game can go die in a hole.
The Powerpuff Girls Battle Hymn. Did she say this was her first game or no? Because she just was talking about playing Game Boy Advance SP, whereas the Game Boy Advance apparently was her first console. Let's see. Powerpuff Girls Battle Hymn. Oh, him is a person? The villain, his name is him. Okay, I was so confused. I mean, let's be honest. This title still is pretty weird. Wait, is that the... Okay, is that character named him? I used to watch Powerpuff Girls, but I had no idea. I didn't really like it, to be honest. SpongeBob was a lot funnier.
This game can go die in a hole. I love it, it's my childhood, but oh my god, someone could hit all of them with a hammer, and I would not be sad. You play as Bubbles, which, may I mention, looks weirdly buff. Even as a kid, I was like, is this Bubbles a man?
It's too wide. Dude, you're playing it on an SP, so it's stretching it. That's why it looks wide. Am I crazy? But wait, this isn't stretched and it still looks wide. So she would look double wide on the SP. Okay, sorry, let me continue.
Even as a kid, I was like, is this Bubbles a man? You fly around and collect, like, everything. There's so many collectibles, and I don't know what any of them do. Rings, trading cards, plutonium, hearts, phones, people. But it's almost impossible because the flying mechanics are like trying to control melting butter over a saucepan. The whole game is an ice level in the sky. There's also criminals afoot, and they're ready to fight you. You can beat them up, but I also like how if you just walk past them, they'll square up and then just go, Meh, whatever.
This video, okay, guys, let's remember here, this video has 40 million views. I guarantee more people from this video have watched any footage of Powerpuff Girls Battle Him, this game, than people have ever played it in history. Like, when this game came out in 2001 or whatever, less people probably heard of its existence than people watching this video now. The power of YouTube, homies. This game should have been forgotten in time.
And then just go. Meh, whatever. This guy just straight up has a
Draco!
Whoa, don't pull out the Draco!
Draco!
Ow, ow, stop, ow!
There's no
stop.
Dracos in
also,
Powerpuff
what
Girls.
the heck is that? Is he hitting me? I don't think he's hitting me. I think he's just spinning angrily. Anyway, this game is bullcrap. The levels are huge and way too open for the screen size, so you get lost. Moving around is a nightmare. Things you need to do to progress are cryptic as heck. The first level, you've got to find a key after rescuing Miss Bellum. Where's the key? Under a secret cave that's almost invisible and hard to get to. That's not level 1 material.
No.
Oh, why wouldn't you want to explore the area and find it on your own? Because the controls are garbage, and I'm honestly just trying to survive.
So, okay, so here's the problem. Here's why Jaiden is playing such a stinky game. Because when you're a kid, actually, if you're young enough watching this, you'll understand. When you're a kid, you want to play games about your favorite things. So when they would make a video game about SpongeBob or Powerpuff Girls or whatever, you're like, I love that show. I gotta play the game. Even though the chances of that game being like an excellent game are almost non-existent. There's almost no chance that you are playing a high quality, excellent game. But you gotta go through a few of those as a kid. You gotta play a few stinky, commercially licensed games. What's your first commercial stinky license? Let me know in the comments.
I stopped playing after getting halfway through the second area because it's all way too difficult to figure out without a guide. I watched this guy stream the game to see if I was just being an idiot with video games, and he wasn't having much different of an experience, so I felt better about myself after that. Next game, SpongeBob Battle for Bikini
Let's
Bottom.
go. Wait, on Game Boy?
I remember really liking this game, probably because SpongeBob was my favorite TV show, so I was excited to revisit it.
Really? SpongeBob was your favorite?
Shut down real quick. This game's a platformer with a pretty simple plot.
Okay, before we even get into this, I'm just gonna say, if she doesn't like this game, it's because she's playing the Game Boy Advance version. The console version is a very, very good time. Kinda genuinely, this is a kind of legendary game. If you don't already know about it, you should. Well, they remade it like 3 years ago. I will say the multiplayer is the worst multiplayer I've like ever experienced in my entire life. The rest of the game is like a good time, bro. So yeah, if Jaiden had a rough time, it's because it was Game Boy.
This game's a platformer with a pretty simple plot. Plankton made a bunch of robots to steal a Krabby Patty formula, but forgot to set the obey Plankton lever to on. And why bother just flipping it to obey when it's already down anyway? So now there's robots all over the place, not obeying anyone, and SpongeBob needs to do something about it because Mr. Krabs says they're scaring away me customers. But the thing is, the robots are kind of harmless. They just ponder around and do nothing necessarily evil. Even when you bump into them, they're like, oh, pardon me. This robot can't harm you. This big guy wouldn't hurt a fly. This one takes you to where you need to go. I don't see much of an issue here other than the fact there's just robots walking around. What was that? Does someone have a Draco? Oh my god, this one's
Don't pull out the Draco! Okay, here's why. Here's why people want to get rid of the robots. I was gonna call her Sandy. I was gonna call Jaiden Sandy. Satan. Oh no, okay, let's not make that mistake. Okay, because Jaiden, robots are scary. This is how the robots take over the world. You introduce a few at a time, and people are like, I don't see what's the big deal. I don't see what's the big deal. They're just chilling. They're just helping us. Jaiden, this is why the world is going to end. Because of people like you saying, oh, it's just a few robots. It's just a little robot. It's no biggie. It's just some robots.
I just booty cheeks.
Jaiden, this is how the world ends. Good job, SpongeBob. Take him out. Take him out.
Oh my god, this one's just a bazooka. So the majority of the enemies in the game aren't enemies. They're more just objects / platforms to help you get to the end of the level. But the thing about this game is that someone put the gravity to like 300%.
Yay, that's
SpongeBob
fun.
can't jump high or far enough to cover almost any ground. So most of the
300%.
time you have to redo a
That
bunch
means
of
heavy.
stuff because if you don't wait until the last little pixel of the platform, then you ain't making that jump. It's so tedious and adds a bunch of frustration to the game. Not to mention the robots you're supposed to jump or stand on move so slow. And most of the time when you get to them, they're moving the opposite direction. So you have to wait for them to slowly float all the way back to you a decade later, only for you to miss the jump
worst part
because
about
the
old
gravity
games.
is bricks. I played through the whole game, and the amount of times I died because I couldn't see the next platform, or had to take leaps of faith, or even just got hit with bullets out of nowhere was torture. Just move the camera. You're making me dizzy. Zoom the camera. I don't know where I can't. Oh my god.
That is a classic old game moment. Jumping on platforms. That's why they literally call it a platformer, in case anyone isn't aware, because they don't make platform games anymore. At least no major developers do, which drives me crazy because I grew up on Nintendo platformers. So it drives me bananas in pajamas that we don't still have platformers because they're so fun. But yeah, the old ones, just waiting for a platform for too long after you fall up. I feel like everyone, if you haven't experienced something like that, you haven't played video games. I'ma just say it right now. If you ain't have to wait for a platform to go back and forth and it's annoying you, you haven't played video games.
Oh my god. I thought the boss levels were decent. They're probably the easiest parts of the game though. The Patrick robot was horrifying.
Whoa,
and I don't want to see it ever
scary.
again. I love this game. I have great memories playing it like 13 years ago, but right now it's dead to me. Great game. I played it a bunch as a kid. It can burn in a ditch. Moving on to Barbie groovy games. I know, it sounds weird. Jaiden, why did you have a Barbie game? Were you super girly as a kid? No, I wasn't. My parents just gave it to me, and I played it because what else was I gonna do? Not play it? Unlike the other games I've talked
no. Yeah, see, parents literally don't know their child's personality because they're too young to like have one. When you're like 5, it's like your parents will just buy you things not because you haven't developed like a unique like sense of self and a unique like these are the things I like yet. At least not enough to where you're broadcasting it super openly. So your parents are like, oh, she's a girl, she probably likes the Barbie game. Oh, if only they knew. If only they knew. But hey, no cap. I played some Barbie games as a child. I had a few Barbie games. They were my sister's. My sister had them, but then I went and played them. There's this one where you're riding a horse and you like choose the path you want to go and it's this big map. And if you get to the beach, you like find like a magical like necklace with a thing that opens up and it's like so exciting.
Ooh, there's something shiny. You found Emma's surprise. This musical golden locket.
Anyways, yes, I am very cool and very manly.
Unlike the other games I've talked about so far, this one's just a bunch of Barbie-themed mini-games. Tic-tac-toe, draughts.
Oh, it looks horrible.
Checkers. This weird horse racing version of Hangman. Connect 4. Fun fact about me, I will always lose at Connect 4. I think what happens is I just get too focused on what I'm doing to notice the other person winning.
Yeah.
I suck at Connect 4 and I'm proud. There's a bunch of other games on there, some suck more than others, but the one I remember the most as a kid was Barbie's version of Snake.
Okay.
Conga line.
Barbie Snake.
I'm not joking. They took Snake and were like, but what if instead of a snake eating apples, it's a bunch of Barbies dancing in a conga line, and they can like pick up Barbies along the way to make a longer line.
That is crazy.
This game. It's stupid and hilarious, and I can't get enough
Show us the footage.
Look at those moves.
Oh, thank goodness. I was so worried. I was like, if she just tells us about this absolutely absurd concept and doesn't show us footage, I will go crazy. I will go crazy.
And I can't get enough of it. Look at those moves. They are having the time of their life in this
Wow, that's crazy.
bedroom, I think. Also, when you miss one of the girls, it becomes a weird, like, cult dance. Imagine that scenario right there in real life.
I would hate
That's
that.
terrifying,
I would hate
and I
it.
want it to be real. So the Barbie game was pretty fun. I lost at most of the other games against Teresa, but we don't need to talk about that. It's one of those pick up and put down wherever you want kind of games, and I understand why I liked it as a kid. Finally, we've gotten to the last game. This one's a bit different because it's a plug and play game. I had a couple of these as a kid. The SpongeBob plug and play and the Nicktoons plug and play. And also the Disney one, but I didn't like that one as much.
Wait, are we really on the last game of this video? There better be a part 2 or I will retake to the streets. There isn't a part 2 to this one. Oh my gosh. We have another video to watch after this one, but I'm so sad that there isn't a part 2. Talking about childhood video games, guys, I could make 50 videos on that. I could make a whole channel about that. I could literally make an entire channel talking about video games I played as a kid. A whole channel. Don't tempt me. Don't tempt me. So it makes me sad that that Jaiden only has one, but we have another video of hers to watch after this that I'm looking forward to anyways. But yeah, I want more childhood game stories. It's so much fun.
The Nicktoons Plug and Play was my favorite as a kid, so I wanted to replay that one. There's a Fairly Odd Parents game that's kind of just Pac-Man. Jimmy Neutron game with ladders and aliens. It's all right. A SpongeBob board game thing you can play with friends. But the games that I wanted to talk about are the Rocket Power one and the other SpongeBob.
Yes, let's go.
This is the better one. I loved the Rocket Power one and would mainly play the Plug and Play just for this game specifically. It's basically a top-down scroll game where you avoid obstacles, go through flags, and grab collectibles for points. But that wasn't my favorite aspect of the game. I liked this part.
Okay.
You get points from jumping and literally demolishing other skateboarders. My 7-year-old self would go out of my way every level to destroy as many other children as possible.
Yes!
I didn't care
Destroy
how much
the
it
children!
slowed down my time. That was not my objective here. Overall, 10 out of 10 game, entertained me for years.
Yo, there's something about when you're playing a game as a kid that shouldn't have a like totally knock someone out button, but does, and you just can't stop. The example when I was a kid is playing Mario Strikers. Mario Strikers is just a soccer game, but you just can hit people so hard. Yeah, boom. Boom. Boom! You just smack each other. It's the most violent soccer game I think that ever existed. So yeah, I totally understand what Jaiden is talking about here. When a video game allows you to hit, the kids will hit. And it's wonderful.
10 out of 10 game, entertained me for years. The objective of the SpongeBob game was to shoot Krabby Patties into the mouths of everyone in town.
That's
grab
nice
the
of
money
you.
And toss on the ground. I mean, it's not conventional, but I guess there's nothing particularly wrong with that business exchange. Everyone just wants a Krabby Patty, so as long as you don't run out of patties, you can kind of just shoot them at whoever. Oh, jeez. Sorry about that, man.
Choose vegan, boss.
All right,
choose vegan. That's so disrespectful.
Oh no! Is that kid dead? What happened there? I mean, he looked not too upset about the fact I just popped his balloon while he was dangling 15 feet in the air. I guess the world moves on. I'll just not think about it and keep doing this Krabby Patty stuff. Alright, cool. It didn't hinder me at all in the end. It was for the greater good. Another 10 out of 10 game. That was my nostalgic trip down weird video game lane. It was surprisingly fun and also not fun to revisit these old games. Opening them up again and seeing the graphics and hearing the music gave me immediate flashbacks to when I played them 15 plus years ago. But also trying to actually beat them made me want to never play them ever again and kind of tainted the illusion they were good and fun games. Looking at you Powerpuff Girls and Battle for Bikini Bottom.
That is kind of what happens. Yeah, because like I said, like as a kid, you play certain games that are like based on something popular that you like. They're a ton of fun at the time as a kid, but your standards for video games are so much lower when you're super young. You know, you'll play anything. And then as you get older, you're like, oh yeah, that was a bad game.
Looking at you Powerpuff Girls and Battle for Bikini Bottom. Did I have fun? Yes.
Yay.
Kinda. Alright, I actually think I had more frustrated hours than fun hours. But did I have at least a little fun? Yes.
Yes.
The ratio doesn't matter.
Yay.
That much. Should you do this?
Yes.
I don't care.
What? Okay. Literally don't. Okay. Well, at least she's honest. You got to appreciate the honesty. But yeah, I'll say it again, guys. Like, I could do like a whole channel talking about old games from my childhood. Like, there are a lot of people who do that kind of thing, and they disguise it as like entertaining reviews and stuff. And it's awesome. And I watched some of those channels. And when I first started this channel, genuinely talking about old video games was like my original goal. And then that kind of just changed when I discovered Markiplier, and he really inspired me to do things differently. Man, I need to change out of this hat because I went to the gym earlier and now my hair's all sweaty and gross and I'm getting itchy. But before I fully take this off, legendary IDK hats are available at robertidk.net. Link is in the description. You should totally check it out. And now, next up, this is another gaming-centered video from Jaiden that I've wanted to watch for a long time because it's essential viewing, but never did because I didn't know that 93% of you also watched gaming videos. So homies, let's do this! I attempted a speed run and got a world record. Wow, Jaiden, sounds awesome. 14-minute slapperino, essential viewing. Let's go on another journey. 3, 2, 1, go.
I think we all know the gist of what a speedrun is.
Yes.
Play game fast. But there's so much more that goes into it than what's on the surface. People spend hundreds of hours practicing games, finding optimal routes, discovering the most precise glitches that can save from minutes to just a few frames, which if you don't know is basically risking your entire run just for a few milliseconds of time save. I've come to love speedruns, watching them at least. Something about them is really cool to me, and I think the community is really cool. It's all cool. I've been lurking and watching various speedrunners for a decent amount of time, and I decided that I wanted to do a speedrun. Now, I don't really have the time to set aside hundreds of hours to hone my skill on whatever game I want, so I decided I had to do a blind speedrun where I just play it for the first time and try my best.
Yes, okay, cool. I personally love speedruns. I also went through a phase where I watched speedruns like all the time. Speedruns are one of those kind of videos that are like long, so they're good to like put on when you're going to bed. And so this was like, I think before I started my channel, I think in like 2013, I went on like a speedrun. Like I got really into watching speedruns. They're very satisfying. And now I think that's kind of my vibe now is like, since my videos are long, I want you to be able to like put a playlist of them on when you're going to sleep and stuff, you know? That's kind of the vibe I go for. And that's also why like I compress my audio so that my audio is like consistently the same volume. You know what I mean? When you watch a RobertIDK video, once you set your volume level, you don't ever have to change it again because like I make sure that like my audio is compressed so that the quiet things are louder and the louder things are like quieter. So it's like generally the same level. You know what I'm talking about? This is some nerdy audio stuff, but I do it for you guys, okay? Because I can't stand videos where things are really quiet and then suddenly like something's louder just unintentionally and you have to adjust your volume. You shouldn't ever have to adjust the volume while watching a video of mine. That's my goal. And so for that reason, they're also good. If you have a playlist, you can throw that on when you're going to sleep. For example, start the MSA playlist. It's like 40 videos long. You can start like listening to it while you sleep and just like work on it for like a couple of weeks. That would be cool. Just a good idea, guys. I'm just trying to help y'all out.
I spent a few days racking my brain on what game I'd like to run. I like Pokemon. Maybe I could run a Pokemon game. But that's a lot of researching and memorizing.
I feel like those are tough.
I could try a Mario game. It's a popular category, but I don't know if it's for me.
It's
then
hard.
It hit me. The perfect game. Of
Banjo
course.
Kazooie.
Why
Banjo.
hadn't I thought of it sooner? I ran to speedrun.com to check if anyone has run it yet. No one.
What?
None. I'm going to be the first person in the world to speedrun Cooking Mama 2 Dinner with Friends.
Let's
That I know. Why did I choose Cooking Mama? Because, dude, Cooking Mama is awesome. If you haven't played, it's a DS game where you follow steps to make food and impress Mama. The better you do, the better score you get. Plus, I'm at an advantage when it comes to preparing food. I've seen Food Wars.
you're a
I know all
cooking
the
mama.
techniques and secrets.
Let her cook. Let her cook. When Jaiden's working on a video, when she's cooking up a video, they refer to her as Cooking Mama because that's what she's doing. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm cooking right now. I hope you guys realize I'm cooking. I'm over here whipping it up. This used to be like, I used to do the cooking dance at like parties and stuff. I was so lame because I was just like into like certain rappers, like niche meme, like Lil B and stuff. Literally 2 people are gonna have any idea what I'm talking about, but like the cooking dance.
Swag. Ellen DeGeneres.
You know, like, anyways, I'm cooking. Let me cook.
Plus, I'm at an advantage when it comes to preparing food. I've seen Food Wars. I know all the techniques and secrets. If you're under 18, don't look it up. Why did I choose the second game and not the original? That's the one I bought. Duh. I used to play Cooking Mama all the time as a kid with my friend Kate. I always thought Mama's English was really funny.
Great! You gave it your best effort!
Yay!
I still love it. We even had this system where if we kept failing at a recipe, we'd have to change chairs because that one had bad luck. obviously. I don't have that luxury this time because I have to stay by the computer, so I'll have to come up with a better strategy. Also, extra movements lose time. I need to be efficient here. Anyway, I wanted to have some sort of challenge, so I decided to add some rules to my run. 1,
Sweet.
I have to fully complete the main game mode Cook with Mama. 2, I have to receive a gold medal on every single recipe. That means I can't make a mistake. Ever. Can't burn a single onion, can't accidentally pour the rice into the sink, can't smack my hand while pounding mochi.
Wow.
If I do, the whole recipe needs to be redone.
Oh, guys, that's so much stress. This is why I've never tried speedrunning any games, except for Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3, and even then, it's like just my own personal thing. I wasn't actually trying to get like good enough. I can never speed run a game on a serious level because just when you play, like you'll get 2 hours into the speed run, and then one little mistake costs you the run because you're aiming for a record. Or a world record. I cannot imagine the pain of that. That is literally the opposite of how I live my life. Like, I will not like replay video games because I'm like, nope, I can't. Like, I need to do something new. Like, I can't do it. So like replaying a game over and over for a speed run is like, my brain would not know how to do that. That sounds so stressful to me. So kudos to the people who do it because I could never.
3, that's it. Do it fast, I guess. The first recipe is pizza, and I was off to a pretty good start. Obviously, it's a speed run, so I didn't have time to read the little description on what to do each step. But for the most part, I was able to use my massive IQ and big, strong brain to decode the objectives in split seconds. Except in the last step where I didn't know how to work the oven and failed immediately. Again, off to a great start. After deciphering how the oven worked, I was moving on quickly. Peanut butter, poke the peanuts, done. Oops. Recover, adapt, overcome.
That wasn't perfect.
Done. Sea bream carpaccio. Exfoliate the fish, chopping, restart. Choose smaller knife, easy peasy. Corn soup. Ew. Bald the corn, boil, strain. Oh, come on. Not all the corn came out. All right. Admittedly, I was making a lot of mistakes at the beginning. I was nervous because it was my first speed run and I didn't know what I had to do most of the time and was generally panicking. But then I remembered that no Cooking Mama 2 speedruns exist yet, so that means I'm on world record pace, and that made me feel better.
You can't miss the record when there's no record. It's brilliant. How do you set a world record for something? Do a thing where there is no world record yet. Boom, profit. That's what she's trying to do. Yo, Jaiden, I respect that. I respect that approach to epic gaming. Truly epic. Oh, by the way, I haven't said it yet. Let me take this moment to say, my G, if you're out here watching this video and you have not booped the like button on this video, whack. If you haven't booped the subscribe button on my channel, whack. You've been messing up so far, but you can get it fixed real quick. I would appreciate you chilling with us a little more often. And Jaiden's channel, she made the videos, bro. If you're enjoying this video and you're not supporting the real Jaiden, that's even worse. That's literally even more whack. So get those two situations remedied for me. If you have not remedied those situations, you should do it. I would appreciate it, and so would Jaiden. Onward and onward.
So that means I'm on world record pace, and that made me feel better. One mechanic I had to learn the hard way was when it comes to the oven, choose the low heat. The first attempt, I decided to go with the medium heat to go a little bit faster. And look at this!
Wow.
Oh no!
What?
What was that? That was a speedrun in itself. Burn the apple pie as quick as possible. You know how there's separate categories in speedruns? Mario Odyssey has the one where you take Mario's shirt off as fast as possible called nipple
that's
percent.
amazing.
I want one for Cooking Mama 2 called burn apple pie percent, where you just burn the apple pie as quickly as possible. Anyway, I redid the pie and was moving on. Bonk. Il rice bowl. We're about an hour in at this point. I had my friends in a Discord call so they can help me take notes so I didn't have to rewatch all the footage again for the script. And they decided to look up how many recipes there actually were in the game. I didn't know because I wanted to go in completely blind. And you know what they discovered?
Oh no.
There are a total of 80 recipes in this game.
Yup.
An hour in, I was on recipe 8.
Wait, is she trying to speedrun this like the first time she's ever played it? The way she's talking talking, it's like she didn't know any of this information. How do you not know this information when you're in speedrun mode? Did she just try to go from not playing a game to speedrunning it? Typically, I think you're supposed to like just play the game like normally first.
Which would be impressive in real life, but not here. So either we were gonna pull a Cooking Mama all-nighter, or I had to start picking up the pace.
Yup.
Sorry, Shrimp. This is gonna get violent. It wasn't perfect, and I was still making some mistakes, but I started getting into the zone. It helped that I was starting to get familiar with the mechanics and actually know what the game wanted me to do for most of the steps now. Waffles, chili dog, meatloaf, lobster. I was one-shotting all of them. I even put 2 mama flags on the lobster, which was a bit risky, but you know me, I live for the danger.
It worked out.
I almost forgot to put the lobster on. Let me pause and tell you a story of my childhood. I already mentioned my love for Cooking Mama as a kid. Even 12 years ago, I set myself the goal of getting gold in all the recipes.
Okay.
But one haunting memory I have of this game was my struggle against the Mama Rice Cracker. All the steps are relatively simple, but at the end you have to stamp all 18 crackers with a Mama stamp. That's what makes the Mama Rice Cracker the Mama Rice Cracker.
Yeah.
But as a kid, my DS was old and I dropped it a few times, which messed up the calibration on my screen in a way I couldn't fix. So that meant at the very end of the recipe, it was extremely hard for me to stamp the stamp in the exact spot that Mama wanted.
Oh no.
I spent weeks, I'm not joking, trying to get the gold on the Mama Rice Cracker. It was the last one I needed, and I couldn't do it. I just couldn't.
Man.
I'm pretty sure I was eventually able to pass, but let's just say I didn't for the sake of drama. Either way, I was having PTSD. I was going through all these steps, washing the rice, putting the rice in the little hole, mochi pounding the rice scoop.
Man, when you mess up your DS and the touch screen is now like you touch here and it's like over here, pain. That is pain. I've never messed up I didn't ever understand how kids would like get Cheeto dust all over their Game Boy and like have like a bunch of like injuries to the Game Boy. Maybe that's the benefit of my OCD tendencies. I like never, like all of my stuff is like spotless. Like all of my devices. I used to keep the plastic. When I would get a new monitor, it would take me months, or a new TV, to take the plastic off because I was like, nope, it has to be perfect. I can't have any scratches. So that's the torture. But at least my DS touchscreen still worked.
Mochi pounding the rice scoop. And then it appeared. The screen that caused the most pain a video game could to a 10-year-old. I was slowly making my way down the line. Everything was going well. And then all of a sudden, on the 10th cracker...
Oh no, not the 10th cracker.
No! I accidentally tapped the screen when I was lining up my pen, causing me to not brand the cracker enough. I'm not one to believe in spiritualism or star signs or Destiny's Child, whatever that stuff is. But that moment in particular made me question if it was all real and my only fate is to eternally fail the last step of the Mama Rice Cracker recipe until I inevitably die an unaccomplished old man that makes ugly rice crackers.
Yeah. It's a very likely.
I did it right the next time, but that would have been unfortunate, right?
Yeah, I was like, isn't this your very first run, Jaiden? Isn't this a little dramatic? It's like her first attempt at speed running, and she's like doing the full commit. She's devastated. Dude, any like speedrunner who has a world record has played the game like at least like 1,000 times and like speed ran the game like 1,000 times. It's okay, Jaiden, I know there's some trauma. You messed up one rice cracker. The next run will be a lot better. You got this.
That would have been unfortunate, right? With the Mama Rice Cracker conquered, now nothing was in my way, and I was making my way through the rest of the recipes. Cool. At the 2-hour, 37-minute mark, 27 recipes in, Ari got out of his cage and was running around the room, so I had to spend precious time getting him back under control. That was a loss of 2 minutes right there. Then I missliced the raviolis, so I'm blaming all of that misfortune on Ari. I actually struggled a lot on the ravioli recipe. The pasta is really hard to cut because you have to time the slice with the line, but since I was so focused on when to cut, a lot of the time I would deviate from the actual line to cut from and mess up. Then when I was able to get past that stage, for some reason the mic had trouble hearing me blow, so even though I was doing what I was supposed to, I'd fail anyway. Did you hear it? Overall, I had to redo the ravioli recipe 6 times, and I spent 11 minutes on it. Not great. Thanks, Ari. But after that, I was able to one-shot both the cake and the spring rolls. And can we talk about how the ice cream recipe literally just makes you scoop out store-bought ice cream and put sprinkles on it? That's been my favorite recipe so far.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, I guess just making ice cream is just too ambitious for the cooking mama. I mean, that's a lot of steps. Also, you don't cook ice cream, you know? So maybe that's why they're trying to stay consistent. It's cooking mama, not freezing, preparing mother. Never mind.
That's been my favorite recipe so far. Skipping forward a bit, let's talk about the mango pudding. This was ravioli part 2. The first step I had trouble with was memorizing the order of the ingredients. It was a 6-part Simon Says memory game, and my big smooth brain can only handle one number at a time before the concept of object permanence leaves my body. I inevitably got a lucky pattern that was easy to remember, and after a few more steps, in the end I had to draw a line at a specific speed that would remove the pudding cleanly. Too slow and it wouldn't come out, too fast and it just...
Oh, when you're doing a speed run, that's so stressful.
I couldn't get the pacing right 3 consecutive times in a row. And with the combined difficulty of that, along with the memorizing, I spent another 10 minutes trying to get it right and still failing. My confidence was shattered and I had to take a mental health break. I'll be back for you, mango pudding. I'll come back stronger. And I'll cook you so well, I'll become the mama. I was in shambles from the pudding, but was able to move on and started getting back into a rhythm. All these foods, I was knocking them out one by one. I will note that I struggled with popcorn because I thought there was gonna be some sort of indicator or something on when to open the lid. So I just sat there until I realized I burnt it all. Oh wait. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll open it when I hear the popping sounds. And then I opened it with like 5 popcorns.
No!
But it's okay, I was able to figure it out. Overall, the rest of the run went on without any major problems. I was able to finish up the rest of the recipes, and at the 6-hour, 38-minute mark, I only had 2 recipes left. The bento box, and of course, the mango pudding. Time is ticking. We're in the end game now.
Wait a second. Is this like a speed run where you're doing each recipe one at a time, like over and over and over and over and over till you get the record on that, like the fastest time you can on that, and then you combine them after? No! Because we're still talking about one run through this game. She's saying she's in the end game now. Did I misinterpret how this is happening?
We're in the end game now. Also, my Discord friends were ready to never talk to me again. I thought I could just get the bento box over with quickly because it's like, you just put food in box, right?
Yeah, just put food in box.
Actually, I didn't realize I had to include food from all the categories Mama gave me or something. So I failed it like 3 times and was on the brink of insanity trying to figure out what Mama wanted from me.
Mama.
The food is in the box, Mama. That's what a bento box is. Food in box. What else do you need? Blood? A blood sacrifice? It didn't say anywhere in the instructions that I should have put more variety in there. Not that I was reading the instructions anyway. I still, right now, don't know what Mama wanted, but at least I finally got the gold after 4 minutes. That meant I only had 1 last recipe. 79 were completed. The mango pudding was the only thing standing between me and the first Cooking Mama 2 Dinner with Friends world record. I clicked it nervously, but I climbed my mountain.
Wait, okay. Now I think I'm fully understanding. She's literally just trying to play through this game, and however long it takes her, she's uploading that to the speedrunning website so she's on top. She doesn't mean actually playing it faster than anyone else. She's literally just playing it as fast as she can and then putting it up. Oh my gosh. Really? Listen, go off, Jaiden. Go off, my queen. Legendary stuff. But wow. I thought you were gonna like play the game over and over to get the best time you possibly could, but no. That was not the approach she took.
I clicked it nervously, but I climbed my mountain. I trained with Mama, and I've come back a new chef. Peeling, slicing, blending, I was quicker than ever.
Wow.
There it was. The memorizing. I was doing well until... No! I restarted. I was sweaty and shaking. My brain was shutting down. My eyes had only been seeing Cooking Mama for the past 6 hours and 45 minutes. Every breath was Cooking Mama. Every neuron in my skull was Cooking Mama. Every atom in the universe at that moment was Cooking Mama. But my next attempt Oh my god. Oh Jesus. Is this the one? I nervously went through the rest of the recipe until I arrived at the last step. It's been about 3 hours and 15 minutes since I practiced removing the pudding from the mold, and to be honest, I don't remember the removal strats. First one, second one.
The right speed. The right speed.
Let's go! I got all the puddings out flawlessly. I waited until the results to confirm it. Boom! 100 points on the mango pudding. Stop the timer.
Yay.
I did it. At long last, all 80 recipes in Cooking Mama 2 gold. In 6 hours, 47
Incredible.
minutes, and 27
Incredible.
seconds. There might be some room for improvement there. Overall, I had a really fun time with the speedrun. It's not even close to a good run, and the time can easily be halved, but I still pride myself in knowing I was the first one to complete and document the Cooking Mama 2 all gold %.
Good
and also
job.
burnt apple pie %. If there's any speedrunners out there wanting to try and take my crown, I'll share some speed strats I thought of during the run. If
Okay.
you complete the steps too quickly, you get a bonus, and at the end of the recipe, if you get 5 bonuses, you receive a gift that you can't reject or skip, which loses a lot of time. You're smothering me, mama. So if you can get no bonuses within the entire game, you'd be saving a lot of time. Another tip is,
Wow.
if you're gonna mess up the recipe, don't mess up the last step, because if you do,
Yeah.
you have to wait through mama giving you your score and clapping for you and being like, yeah, it's almost perfect. And the whole time you're like, yes, mama, I know it's not perfect. I dropped an egg. And then she gives you like
Very
3
sad.
presents in a row because you got too many bonuses, and you're just screeching at her to shut up.
How long is this going to take?
I didn't discover any glitches that would save time, unfortunately.
What?
I don't know what a Cooking Mama glitch would look like, but it doesn't sound pleasant. But it doesn't matter, because as of this moment right here, I'm the one with the Cooking Mama 2 Dinner with Friends
Yay.
world record. Guess I finally did something with my life after all. Anyway, thanks for watching my first attempt at a speedrun. I think in hindsight, I should have chosen a game that could have been done in a few less hours, because I feel like I aged 20 years after this. But you live and learn.
Okay, let's look it up. Cooking Mama 2 speed run. Good job, Jaiden. Wait, so now she's 9th place. I'm surprised only 8 people have speed run Cooking Mama 2 faster than Jaiden to this point. I would have thought like the entire world would be doing it. We have burn a pie %. Very good. Wow. So these people shortly did it after Jaiden and then haven't done it since. I'm surprised. Well, good job, Jaiden, for having the 9th place record. Woo! Again, I would never in a million years attempt like a speed run that's gonna be judged by the rest of the world. I personally speed ran Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 for a long time because that game is like made for speed running practically, because it like in order to unlock everything you have to play through the whole thing like 40 times. But yeah, I would never like do a speed run to be compared to the world, because I would fail compared to everyone else and I would feel bad about myself, and that would be my life and I would not like it. And man, that was a blast. I really enjoyed checking out Jaiden again. Guys, if you want me to check out Jaiden Animations again, you gotta let me know in the comments, because it's been a while. A couple of the Jaiden videos didn't do too well before, so I like kind of stopped for a while, but I love her videos and these were awesome. So please let me know in the comments if you want to see me do more. Here's the full playlist of us watching Jaiden Animations. If you haven't seen the other videos, check them out. Maybe this can be your sleepy playlist for the week. Here's Jaiden's channel. She did all the hard work. Make sure you are subscribed to her. Here's another video of mine that YouTube thinks you will like. Guys, I will see you here, or I will see you there. Have a good rest of your day, people. Peace.